Hello, how are you? It's good to see you all here online, somewhere, sometimes, because it's 24 hours. It can be anytime, anywhere in the world. So, today, a great program. 3 pieces by Django Reinhardt. The first one is called Echoes of Spain. I'm also going to play Improvisation 2 Part 2, second variation, and also Improvisation 6. Which order, I don't know yet. I'm going to start with Echoes of Spain. So Echoes of Spain is one of Django's masterpieces, really. So I'm in the middle of transcribing it right now. It is so hard. Getting the notes is not a problem, but the whole song is completely rubato. It's very hard to really decide on one rhythm or the other. It's a real problem to transcribe on paper this piece, and it's so musical and logical. There's nothing weird, but to put it on paper, it's a nightmare, But anyway, I'm gonna put it, and probably once it's gonna be released, there's gonna be a note that it's rubato. And there is a thing with these pieces, For example, if you study a sonata by Mozart on the piano, for example, it's written, it's square, you have indications, it's the same, and everyone put his feeling in it, like the interpreters. But it's like a pre-written thing, and we have a piece of paper to look at and study. Here, we revolve forever on the recording. We will always need the recording of Django to kind of figure out what really is going on, We can transcribe as much as possible the notes and all that, but it's never going to reflect the real content on the place. There are things that you cannot write. It's almost impossible to write a rubato. This is a very hard task, So, and it looks like if you write a rubato, it looks a bit dumb. There's a lot of notes and stuff in random order, so weird rhythm and all that. It's not meant for that. So anyway, we are left with this fact that even when the charts are written and out, we will always be attached to the recording of Django. That's the way it is. That's the nature of these pieces. So, Echoes of Spain. Great title. It's not Spain. It's Echoes of Spain. So it's like a dream of Spain. Something like a vibration of Spain. Maybe from his trips when he was a child. We don't know where he got that, but he got definitely the sounds of the Spanish guitar, and he got a certain idea of Spain, which is like a dream. But it remains also a very impressionistic piece. He still uses very classical harmonies and stuff in it, and it's extremely creative. There is always that moment where he goes to that C sharp. It's suddenly it's really like suddenly entering a different dimension. There's something in it. It's like entering a real dream. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't have the vocabulary to express it. That's why I play music and I don't write song or I don't write poetry. I don't have the words. But there's something in that change that is radical, and that brings the mind, kind of breaks the mind and brings it to a different dimension, A bit like a Philip K. Dick book. If you want to read a good book, you read Ubik, U-B-I-K, by Philip K. Dick. It's going to blow your mind. It's crazy. Anyway, Echoes of Spain. Echoes of Spain. Hello, Terry from Toronto. We'll be there in November. We are preparing a very big thing, you will see. Hello from the Hudson Valley. Hey, we're neighbors. So, what a masterpiece he composed right there. I think I'm going to play Improvisation 6, then Improvisation 2 Part 2. So it changes like pick to fingers. So this one, by ear the use third parties. I transcribe and also compared with whatever I found. That's the question. Did you use third-party sources to learn them or transcribe? I transcribe and I sometimes compared with other sources to see like if I would miss something, if like, so, but mainly transcribe. Transcribe is very important. Transcribing is very important. And especially the contact with the music directly is very important. There are things that are impossible to write, and like they are possible, but there is still, like as I said, there is between the writing and the music, there is like things that are not aligned. It's not possible. There are things you just can't write. I don't know how to say it, but anyway, yes. All right, Rochester, yes, Rochester, November, for sure. At the Loving Cup, first weekend or second weekend of November, I think it's that. Anyway, let me play the number 6 now. Improvisation number 6 is very impressionist. It's like an impressionist prelude, a bit like Debussy would compose. And it still touches a little bit of Spain, okay? He uses some of these amazing chord progressions, amazing harmonies that he really was in control of. That's why I like to say that Django is, these pieces are classical music on the guitar, but they are not classical guitar. There is no pattern of classical guitar in it. Like any classical guitar piece that I practice, which is amazing, they still like things that are very classical guitar oriented. But this is like very wild. I don't know anything like that. And it's like in itself, it's a course on harmony. If you're a guitar player and you want to know more about harmony, you learn these pieces. It's a course in itself on harmony. It's amazing, mind-blowing. And then it brings you to the sense of tonality. It's very exciting, sorry. Let me play it. Improvisation 6. Imagine the beginning like a phone or something like that, and imagine a flute, that kind of atmosphere, like very Debussy-esque. That was improvisation 6 by Django Reinhardt. You can find them, of course, on the vinyl, CDs, and all that. And you see how Echoes of Spain is 1939, and Improvisation 6 is 1945. 5 is 47, and Improvisation 4 is 49. So if you followed my last series of videos where I went a little bit deeper into the pieces and all, they were numbered as they found them. They had no title or nothing, so they said 1, 2, 3 are in order, then 6, 5, 4. Now I'm going to play part 2, or second variation. There are like 3 different variations of the second improvisation. This one was recorded as the same day as the first one. There are a few differences in the voicings and in the ending and stuff like that. Belgique, bonsoir de la Belgique. Bonsoir Simone. Alors, so they are roughly very similar. So that's why, like, this is not improvised. It's called improvisation too, but it's not like I sit down and improvise something. It's super well constructed. You have like the different parts and all, and the main difference is the end. But there are also a couple of like voicings and stuff in the in the middle of the piece. Like for example, this will be transformed as this. See, add things, little things like that. All right, that's gonna be the last one today, and I'm going to play it now. that's it. Improvisation 2. Hello, Janina. Ah, yeah. Running to New Jersey. The jam. That's been years that it's off. One day, tell us about your guitar. Oh, it's very simple. John. The guitar is a Bussato. It's written here, but you cannot really see it. But Bussato. And there is like a paper inside that says Cité, which means is 1943 to 1952. And according to guitar builders, this is a very early one, so probably 1943. Okay, early 40s. It used to be Joseph Reinhardt's guitar, Django's brother, and it was in the Reinhardt family for a long time. And then Stockello Rosenberg had it, and then Fegeli Prezo of Stockello's family, and then I got it from Fegeli about 2 years ago. Wow. That's the history. So it's an old guitar, you know. It's like, see, it's like pretty worn out. It's beautiful back with an arch. If you can see it, you can't really. And the neck is very thick. And the tone is just amazing. It's good also to play classical. Etc. It's a very beautiful guitar. So good also for rhythm. One thing you can do with a guitar, no matter how well it's built nowadays, you cannot recreate that older sound. That there is something about it on older instruments. It's like wine. You just cannot create it. You cannot create that flavor, you know. It just has to age. Usually after 20 years, 10 to 20 years, it starts to have a little bit more like character, and then it takes a bit longer to really like reach that level, you know. So this one is like, about 1943, maybe 1945, something like that. At that time, two guys were building it really. Selmer, the brand Selmer, and this is Bussato, and they were like the two that were building this kind of guitar at that time, I think. I don't know when, I forgot the names now, I'm starting to forget everything, because I'm not so into all that, like buying guitars. I know I just have this one and that's it. There's Favino, but it's a bit later, I think, more like the 60s, 70s. Do you play this guitar live? Yes, I do. I play it a lot live, as much as I can. Only if I have to take a plane, and I'm not guaranteed to have the guitar with me in the plane, I take other guitars. That's what happened right now. I also have Bob Hollows that are great instruments. I have two Bob Hollows that I really, really, really love. And one Rodrigo showpiece, a big D-hole, like beautiful. I have some cool guitars like this one too. I'm gonna show you. Cyril Geffiero, but this is like so out of tune. It's a 12 string. doubled. I haven't played it in a while, so it's completely out of tune. So you have to tune both strings. This one am I going too high? Okay, so it's a 12 string. Sorry, it takes a bit. I won't make it work. I wanted to show you, but it's been out of tune so long that see. I use that kind of sound in my albums when I do my composition, like in La Terre des Hommes. See what I mean? So each string is doubled, you see? That's why it's so hard to tune, especially when it's been like out of tune for a while, like the whole guitar is wobbling, so it gets out of tune almost immediately. Plus I need to like raise the bridge a bit. No, I don't use a simulator of straight string. This is like a real 12 string. On the albums, that's what I record with, you know. So anyway, there's gonna be some for the album. upcoming album. I was supposed to release an album in October, but thinking about waiting for February for this one, but you will see. But it's good for atmosphere. Anyway, I won't noodle like that for hours on this, but that's one of my special guitars. That's something very cool too that I could show you, but I don't know. I'm not ready to show you a demonstration yet, but this is a Baroque lute. It's one of the things I've been practicing, but I'm saving them. There's like 13 string on that thing. Yeah, that's the way it is. I'll show you another day. I need to practice that. But one day I'll do a little demonstration on it. Anyway, my friends, what effect does the size of the hole have on the sound? And do you ever use an arch top? I do not like arch top guitars. I don't know. I don't like the sound that comes out of it and all that stuff. So I'm just like staying away from these guitars. If I have to use an electric, I like a good old Fender Stratocaster US. Straight, like just simple. That's what I like. The Strat, that's my jam. As far as the sound hole, yes, it does affect the sound, although I'm the wrong person to ask because I don't know anything about all that. Usually they are a bit more bassy. The oval hole is a little bit more like mid-rangey, so it cuts a little bit better. So that's how it's designed, to cut through with solos. Did you know Babik? Babik, I met him when I was 15 the first time. We used to go out and have drinks because, it's France. So we used to go to the pub in Bois-le-Roi, in the town next to me. My mom is watching the video. She's just learning about that, probably. But when I was about 15, yeah, we used to go to the pub. We used to go to the pubs in Fontainebleau. This is where we used to see him, but mainly in Bois-le-Roi. And when they say, oh, look at this guy, this is Babik, he's Django Reinhardt's son. And over the years, I got to talk to him, but not, he died when I moved here in 2000. So I never really got to have any kind of relationship with him, but we'd just say hello. He knew who I was, I knew who he was. We met in a couple of jams and stuff. Back then, back in the days. All right, my friends, I think that's it for today. Tomorrow, what's tomorrow? It's Thursday. Today is Wednesday. Yeah, I feel like it's a Groundhog Day. It's like the one day that's the same every day. Tomorrow is Thursday, and tomorrow is, if I'm correct, there's going to be Belleville, maybe Improvisation 4, and Nagin. I think that's what it's going to be tomorrow. So a good program. You can check out my website. I moved the Django Agogo to October 6, 7, 8. So in New York City and Maplewood, New Jersey. And also you can get CDs on my website. You can know all the dates for the touring and all that. And if you're interested in lessons, I also teach online. I was a bit skeptical in the beginning with Skype and all. I never done it before, but actually it works pretty well. It's pretty neat. So if you're ever interested, shoot me a message and we'll make it happen. Otherwise, I think that's it, my friends. I will see you tomorrow here on internet. All right. Have a good day. Bye.